friends are overdosing, all my favorite venues closing, and I can't win. One step forward, two steps back. It's been a year, and I lost track, and I see no end.
All right, here we go. Solo and Doc, we're back for another one. Here with the let me start the episode by introducing our star-studded cast of regulars.
Where are they?
We're stars.
Yeah.
The great one, Michael Lynch, of course, is my co-host. My Italian Jew friend, Eric Leonetti.
Thank you, Dr. Relax.
And the delightful,
Tits
delectable
Ramirez.
Tits Ramirez.
I was
Ramirez.
waiting for the tits. That's it.
And our producer, Lisha.
And
Oh,
our
don't forget
producer,
Lisha.
Lisha. I
Don't
always
forget
forget
about lesbian
Lisha.
Lisha Martinez.
And I, of course, I'm the good doctor. Go ahead, say something.
What? How you used
Doctor
to
of
work?
many things.
Doctor Relapse.
Yes,
Doctor
relapse doctor.
Interracial marriages.
Oh, come on. Okay.
The good
Anyway,
doctor's
today,
autistic,
here's
isn't
where we look. All right, shut up. Okay, it's my show. Solo and Doc, we really like to talk about success. Success going from people who, we like to hear the stories of people who go from, strain and misery to all the way up to success and whatever success means for them. And today we have a very special guest. I'm excited to hear him. His name's Garet. Garet, I've heard him speak just a couple of times. Dynamic speaker. Absolutely, he's got a very powerful story, extremely powerful message, and I'm really excited to get into it. Michael?
Yeah, why don't we welcome, dude.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
He's a really good friend of mine. This is also a really good friend of mine. And thanks for coming on, man.
You're welcome.
You know what we want to do is we want to start like now. Like, what does your life look like now?
Now it looks like
Outside
it looks
and
like a
inside.
nice hot cup of coffee on a porch, looking overlooking the
Getting a
sunsets.
blowjob.
Yeah.
That's a
grabbing a
From a woman.
grabbing a ponytail.
From a woman. Though.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Depends on the morning,
Wait, whoa. We're not in that part of the story yet when you were in prison, bro. We're going to get there, though.
Man, I just I really love, man, just being able to come and do this type of stuff, and especially with my friends. I know Solo for a long time, man, and it just really makes me happy to be able to be here, and that what it's like today is I'll tell you what it's like today is taxes stress me out.
Taxes. That's when you know you're doing good, right? There's two kinds
There's
two kinds of people. There's two kinds of people. There's those ones that are waiting for tax time and they're so happy tax time's coming because they're getting money. And then you have all of us that actually make money and we don't like that time.
Kenny, you have no idea.
That today, I mean, and so I'll say this is that like 12 years ago, and I'm gonna reel it all in. Is 12 years ago, I started working for a company, and I was, and this company, I was in a treatment center, and I met this guy inside this treatment center that had a job, and I piggybacked off him, and I started working for him. And one day, this guy looked at me, and because I was perfectly all my job level skills were picking up trash. And I was cool going to a job site and picking up trash. That just made my day. And this guy looked at me and he says, "Are you gonna pick up trash forever?" And what he did is he laid a set of plans out in front of me and he said, "You need to learn how to read these." And I did. And then during COVID, I also started my own little small business. I started another small business, a general repair and maintenance business. And then through the line of being of service, of having these businesses, I always hire people out of treatment centers, and I'm always looking for guys because I come from a treatment center, and people were hiring me out of treatment centers, and this opportunity came where I was helping these people out of the treatment centers, and I met some people who were getting rid of one, and lo and behold, man, I put this plan together, and it's You know, it's just the people inside here, man. It's just these people that, and honestly, man, it's just putting a team together.
And now you own one.
Yeah,
And now you
it's
own
like,
one.
but it's really like putting a team, putting a team of people, you know, together, and just like, it's a whole different learning experience. I'm gonna tell you, like, it's one thing. It's a whole different experience, man. Like I'm just trying to, like, I'm still just like learning that field and that stuff about it. It's different.
It's
different.
different.
It's being in recovery and then having recovery. Like it's like what we tell all these people. Like, you can work in recovery, but be careful working in recovery. But don't make that your recovery. You know, and like, and I'm on this other side of it now. Like just like it's a, you know, it's like it's a whole different aspect of it, and I just have to sort of jump into something I don't know, and I have to learn, and that's the part, man. I have to grow, and I have to learn something I don't know really nothing about, you know, and just figure out, you know.
But you know, the skills that you had,
selling drugs.
Yeah, selling drugs, running around prison, you know, organizing people. You know, you notice that those same skills can be applied out here, but with spiritual principles. And I think any business, I think one of the hardest part of any business is your team, is dealing with your team and making sure that your team stays on point on what your idea is on how you want things done. And, you know, you have different kinds of people that are like dictator style people. They're not respected, they're feared. So I don't really believe in that.
I think you're exactly right. Building a team, and based on people on the production, like that's like what the things I have, like coming in here and doing all the stuff I did before, is that I'm really good with people and managing people and leading people and doing finding your best aspects about you, being a true leader, and not using my how tall I am or how big I am or my voice or nothing like that. Just like really like developing your skills out.
Correct.
You know, like how can I make you a better person? To help us both out. You know, and I see Solo doing all the time, man. Like you're just out there, and I watch him, man. I just watch him from afar. I follow him, man. I'm just like all right, and I see his ideas, and that's how it is, man. I'm just like following. I'm listening. I'm watching these examples of people and what they're doing outside in the real world. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
And it's cool because people like you and I, we shouldn't be in these positions today.
Man,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that there's something to be said about, you know, some of us, if we can take, if you want to call it positive, some of the things that we learned how to do in there. For us, it was life and death, so we had to. So put under those circumstances, you are either going to fall victim or you're going to be a predator, and that's how it is in there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, as you know. And coming out here, the same skills, once I think we have the confidence and recovery in God, we can use those same exact skills that we did in there. You know, to you know, organize everyone, to inspire them, you know, because even on a yard, you know, on a yard, there's guys that are feared, and that's true, but true leadership, even on a yard, is inspiring the guys on the yard to do the things you want to do, even if it's kick off a riot. You know what I mean?
I really think that some people just have these leadership abilities without even knowing they have leadership abilities, and it's something that being in the program and doing these kind of things is like what really brings it out, man. Like and the leadership ability too is like it's not something like most leaders don't really know they're leading. They maybe have a sense that people follow them or they're leading and stuff like that, but they're humble. I don't like the egotistical ones that know, I did all this, you know. I try to stay, like, it's a difference between like a shot caller and his right-hand man, you know, and it's like the right-hand man is a guy that's probably actually doing all the work. Yeah. While you got this guy who's most feared, you know, people are just like, oh my God, I just don't want him to yell at me, you know, or you know, whatever, you know, like he's just like this persona, this picture. You know, but this right-hand man is a guy that's dealing with all these other people. He's doing all this footwork, man. It's like that swan or whatever you see going across the lake, man. It is just gliding across, and then the feet, man, are just moving with so much effort and stuff like this. And there's always somebody, but that you always have this leader, but you always have somebody connected to that person, you know, that's doing some work. You know, to make a team, like building a team is a team of individuals. It's one person that has a great idea and then going around and find these people to on the same path and the same idea to expand on that idea that's going on in your head. And I believe me, and to get like it just. man, knowing some people and then really putting these people to the test of their work capacities, you know, like you
And
really
they don't even know what they're capable of, and I think
and
that's
others
true
don't know,
leadership. They don't know.
like you're not worth that, you know, like you don't know, like and it's that a lot of it comes to like that self-knowledge and then that experience thing, you know. And are you looking for somebody with the self-knowledge of it, or with somebody with the experience of it, you know? And like and that experience, man, comes with like that person that failed and that keeps on trying, that just stays in it, that is just like, damn, I messed up again. Who ain't afraid to be like, damn, I just owned it, whatever it is he went through, you know, like I messed up, man, you know, and I like those people, that real, man, the values, they have this stuff, and they have that thing that you just can't teach, you know, and even on the streets, man, like you get these people, and it's like, we love these people who are just like, oh, you know, even on the street, we got this street mentality, we got like to where it's the difference between like someone coming up to me with a problem and it just staying a problem on the table. You know, like our thinking, like as soon as I'm solution, bam.
Correct.
And it's even more the program, but like it's just like even as soon as I hear it doesn't matter. Like anybody can have, like I'm thinking of resources. I'm thinking of how can we fix it? How can we do it better? It's just like, it's just this way. I don't know if it's our
When did that
perception. I don't know if it's just when that perception changed of like the solution base.
When did it? That's the thing. Is when did that happen?
Yeah.
Because
how many people I'm in business right now, what do they come to you with?
everything.
Problems.
Everything.
Problems, right? Problems,
Yeah.
right? It's problems. I'm not getting along with two. Fucking how can we, our money is just right here.
That's the majority of being the leader, is dealing with everyone's problems and having a solution for each of them.
Yeah.
Like
right?
he's just this terminally
unique.
stuck problem. It's just in general.
Unsolvable
There is no
problem.
solution for him.
There's no equation.
Get on the general. Go figure. Makes no sense. Right?
Whatever you want to think, sir.
That's crazy, brother. Can you do me a favor? Angle that fucking light away from your bald head.
Do it. I'm sorry, I got no control. But yeah, so we come in here and it's all about like that solution, you know, and I'm gonna tell you, mindset recovery, man. That's
the name of your treatment
It's
center.
mindset recovery.
Yep.
Yeah, and so like I have a few things out there that.
Why'd you call it that?
Huh?
Why'd you call it that?
YouTube. I mean, you just sort of look it up and you get a list and you're like, all right, that's it. You know?
That's awesome. That's how you did it?
Yeah. So
Right
I mean,
on.
like.
Right on. You don't even try to make up some profound, just hit me from God one day.
I'm not here to say like I had a vision or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
like,
love that. I
that looks
love
good right there. You know, I like that one. That one rings a bell.
That's
you know?
great. It is a good name. It is a good name.
Thank you.
You know, something you said that really struck me, because I've been, over the years, I've worked in academia. I've worked in.
He didn't even know what that
I'll
word
fucking
was. That's
throw
why he
you
laughed.
out of this.
He laughed because he doesn't know what the word
He can't
is.
spell academia. I worked in
I can't even
private
spell that
industry. I've worked in industry. I've worked in government, and what you just said was so true. At least in my experience, I think that one thing that I've discovered over the 54 years is that leadership is not the same as management. It's not the same as supervision. Leadership, people who are leaders just influence people. And I totally agree. The best leaders in my life that I've had, I don't know that they set out to be a leader.
I don't think so.
And they all tend to have some humility. You also used that word as well. It's amazing. No, it's true.
Yeah, no,
What do you know about
He doesn't know what
leadership?
humility is either.
You don't know anything.
Nope, never. He's never heard of it.
No, but it's true. I mean, if you actually think some of the, I've known in my life a couple of, just like 3, maybe truly humble people in my life. And I'm not sure they even know it. People are just kind of gifted with that leadership ability and humility, at least in my experience, seems to be a part of that as well. I don't know if it's always true, but at least I don't know. I think you're onto something there.
No, I agree. I can look back and the people that have like mentored me the most in my life, that were true leaders, very humble, and they just they influence. I think that there's some people that just influence and some people, I guess, that don't. I think when you're trying to influence, that's where you don't,
I really think it's that term that you hear all the time too, is like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And that's how it was with me. Like it was just like all of a sudden, like I was ready, and so like my perception opened up to like boom, just catch it. And still to this day, it's just
And
like,
when was that?
I don't know.
You want to go backwards?
Let's go backwards.
Let's go backwards.
Let's go backwards. Let's go backwards. And I gotta say that every year or every few years, every like that, it's always it's like they say, it's to remain the same is to die. You know, like and so like like I didn't come here to die. I came here to live. And so I got what I have to do is I got to constantly, and it's not, and it's anything. I mean, they talk about this growth. Like it's not, and my mentality when I first came in was what I could get.
For sure.
What could I get? I need what I mean, everything, right? A car, a job, all this. I needed all this stuff, but as time goes by, it's not about what I can get as much as what I can get rid of and what I don't want to be anymore.
And what we can give. And what we can give.
And what I can give is a number one, but it's more or less what I don't want to be no more. How long did it take for me to start reflecting and seeing these behaviors and being like, man, I just don't want to be that no more. Like and finally, like and slowly but surely, like things just start happening, like till you're able to see it, man. And until the when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and then like you're able to learn this stuff, man. And
but it's hard. It is hard because when you come from, like, let's go to your background. When you come from a background that the opposite is taught of what you're talking about right now, and it's more of a survival way of living on an animalistic level, and then to try to come into this world and start a process of trying to transform ourselves internally, and if there's so much to keep transforming, so much, it's like, fuck, 18 years I've been doing this, and there's so much more to go, but you're right. I don't know when it was that I made a decision that I actually need to change and continue to
sometimes
change,
it's like, but did we actually make a decision, or do we just sort of change? And like, like, is that's it's I don't know if I ever, like, it's all of a sudden, like, it's just like a change. Like maybe it's before our sobriety, but like I just had that, I've been celebrating my sobriety birthday, right? And so like it's and it's all this reflection goes by, and it seems like that stuff, like it just sort of happened. And you get to think about, like,
against our own will sometimes.
Against our own will. What is it? What big, or was it something big that happened? What big crisis, or what big something that happened that we had to go through that changed it? Like the pain is a touchstone of a spiritual growth. Like what is it? Like what is it that we've gone to? Like who hurt you? What do you do? What gone? What is it? Money or whatever? Like what is it? Like this sort of changed it, man, to make this change happen. And what they say too is like, man, it's a whole lot. And in what sense did I stop thinking about it and just sort of took an action about it? And because the action's the part, man. And was it, man? And was it? I mean, is it like working with other people? Is it working with these people who are sick and and taking them through the steps? And is that what's causing the change? And is like the more people,
or is it God, or
is it God? Is it like what is it? Like what is it? Like is it a mixture of all this stuff? How does it? I don't have an answer, but I will be thinking about it now.
I think that I do think though that one of the most important parts of it is who's around you.
Oh yeah.
I think the most important thing is who's around me is why I end up changing, because I can look, there was a time in my recovery where I was still hanging out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I still hung out with people that were like-minded how I used to be. And then I'm also hanging out with these other people that are like, I'm admiring the way they live, and the two lives didn't kind of
mix.
No. And so I'm like not changing like I should have, I think. And it's because I was still holding, it's the people around me. And I didn't know it, but I'm getting influenced at all times, no matter what. I think we all do. We're always getting influenced at all times on what we're around. And today it's like, that's why it's so important to me, is who's in my circle. Who am I around? Because
who has access to you, who
true access all the time, because it's like, I do believe that it's like, if I'll help everyone, I'll help everyone, and I'll do all this stuff, but I'm not going to bring them all the way in unless you're somebody that I know is a positive influence for me. because I need positive influences at all times. And I know that. And it's like, that's why my friend circuits is like, all you guys that are my friends are all like great people, you know? And I think I intentionally do that though now, intentionally, you know? Except for that scumbag right there.
Oh, yeah. No, Michael and I were just talking, I think it was yesterday, I talk about it so much that people probably get tired of hearing it, but without the people around me, I have no recovery at all. I don't care. You can give me the big book, the basic text, you give me my Bible. I've shown time and time again that because there's no influence. I really believe that. I'm not strong enough, or I'm not insightful enough, or I don't have the wherewithal to influence, to muster up, just to summon up this drive. But that's why I surround myself. The only people in my lives are degenerates like this. Because these are my friends. I just got married a few months ago. It dawned on me every single person in the wedding, including the
had
guy
a low
who officiated.
IQ.
No, they're all junkies and felons. Every
Sounds
single
like
one.
a best wedding you'd ever had.
I officiated it.
But these are the best friends I've ever had, and why it's not that I'm averse now to associating with people who aren't in recovery, but why would I waste that time when I could spend it around people I know are going to influence me in the right way? I know it is a fact. It feels good.
I agree. Birds of a feather flock together,
Yeah.
man. And I think it's once your circles change that you change. Yes. Maybe that I was just like Mike. I was stuck, and it's also too like I have this, to where like it's even like a lot of people think they know me because they hear me speaking like about, oh, I know Garet, man, I know Garet, oh, I love him, but like I got less than this many people that know me, that I'm with, that I'm accountable to, that I could open up and talk to, and it's anything from kids to business to housing to having fun to travel with to do all this stuff,
And out of those people, what are the characteristics that they must have, in your opinion? Or what do they all have in common? What
Own a
characteristics?
business.
Huh?
Own a business.
That's it? They can be scum.
Majority of them. I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you a common. We have a few common denominators.
Okay.
All millionaires. All of them have businesses. All of them, when we sit at tables, we talk about new ideas and things that we're going to do to move on and productive and all that stuff. And all these people are members of in sobriety. Okay. And we all in that small circle. It's a very small, tight circle. I help. Like I'm just like Mike, dude. I don't care. Like, take my shoes, take my hat. You need to borrow a truck. You need a job. Like what?
I've always said that about you, bro. Yeah. To anyone that'll hear it, dude. Yeah. You are a man that is always of service.
Yeah,
always of service.
I've heard. For what it's worth, I don't know Garet a whole lot, but I've heard. Yeah.
He needs a job.
No, but I've heard the same thing. No, I've heard he's very well known in the recovering community in Los Angeles. Yeah. Whether you know him or not, you've heard about him. Yeah.
And so and it's this service, and
do all those guys have that same characteristic? Are they all in?
The thing is that we're all. It's not that we're all the same. It's that we're all different.
Okay.
in a sense, but maybe we all have these common denominators of stuff that are in common.
Like being of service, like being honest, being able to be
accountable. Being accountable is a big one. Integrity.
There you go.
Like not and like you.
It's a good one to talk about right there. Integrity.
Yeah. And how are you talking about me when I'm not around? Boom. Or are you talking about me when I'm around? Like those are things.
Are you loyal in a room I'm not in?
Are you loyal to? Are who? And then who else? Who else are you hanging out with when you're not hanging out with at my table? What other tables are you part of? Or are you in? And like those are things you start looking like. You never, and like you don't want to be sharing. I don't like sharing spaces with people, and like I'm very like just like I like a very small, just tight club,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a great. Dude, this is great, man. This is that. And I'll back it up or whatever it is that Mike, like we go and we take our bikes up there to the Laughlin and I got to say that, man, like we showed up 50, I don't know, it seemed like 50, it might have been less.
When we were all driving down that road, all of us together, dude, that was the dopest. Yeah. I'm tearing up. I'm a grown-ass man thinking I'm a gangster. I am riding down that fucking, we're all on our Harleys, bro. Yeah. And I had this moment, dude, because you look around and you see the mountains look like the ones on the Wile E. Coyote mountain, things, the rocks. And I just had this moment. I looked at all you guys and we're just all going. And any of you guys that know about riding, you have to stay together in a pack.
Oh, yeah.
And we were this giant pack just going. And the symbolism behind that for me was like, what did it take for every single one of us to get to this moment right now?
Yeah.
Hell, crazy things, and
Dude, we
all
showed
one
up
thing.
50 deep. It must have been 50 deep to a meeting, man. Like we all met, and it
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
and you got to watch us.
Everyone was
Pulled
like,
up,
oh,
and like the people at the meeting were just looking at us, and like they just knew it was going to be a fire. And they're just like a chair. It was just like we packed the house, man.
We
And then we went to Denny's, man, and it was
the worst service ever.
It was one server for all of us, you know.
Yeah.
But it also, but you know, and it comes to things like when things like that too, and to reflect like on motorcycle riding or whatever we do in life, you know, like what is it like, you know, is it the ride, you know, or is it the destination? Like is in recovery,
I don't
like,
think it's any of those. You know what? I think it's the people.
Oh, the
So
people.
I've always thought, is it the journey or is it the destination? And I came to the conclusion for
It's
me,
the people.
it's the people.
Amen.
That's it.
Yeah.
Along the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's what it is for me, you know?
It is. The
So let's
people.
talk about the kind of people you used to be around. What did your life look like before?
What my life.
Where do you come from?
What I come from. I might not look like it nowadays, but
Or act like it for sure.
or act like it sometimes. I mean,
The right buttons pushed.
I got to say that. I grew up on the streets, and I loved the streets, and I loved everything that came with that lifestyle. From selling drugs to doing drugs to the partying to hanging out with gang members from to being in the gangs to like that was just like I loved it. I thrived off that. Like but guys in power, I know what it's like to be with guys that have that power struggle, but like we're powerful people. You know, just who they are, just their name would just like just shut a room down. You know, I love that. I'll never forget when I was a young kid and I was at one of these trap houses, man, and that guy came over, the guy with the power, the guy that just everybody was like fucking just step back, you know, just like this guy walked in with his trench coat, you know, just like, you know, and he's an outlaw, you know, he's blasted from head to toe. And I also remember when years later, you know, when I'm this guy's like right hand man, when I'm out there just like, you know, just like I would do anything, you know, the work to put in for this guy, you know, he can be in any remote location, but I'd be out there in the field doing that work, you know, and I remember sitting in this abandoned barn about to do a drug and gun deal, you know, and I'm sitting there and what it is, I remember doing shots together, you know, after he's like, man, you should never, you know, you shouldn't be doing this stuff, man, and I remember, know what I said to him? I said, I want to be just like you. Damn, I want those tattoos just like you. And he says, and this is, man, and we're sitting in this barn and Antelope Baker's out there, man, and he's like, you want to be like me? He's like, why you want to be like me, man? Look at me, man, my life is over. This is my life.
How long ago was this?
Had to been at least 15 to 20 years ago, dude, you know? And 20 years ago. And he's like, man, and he was just like, you don't want to be like, look at me, my life is over, blasted, you know, marked for life, branded by the tattoos and everything he has, you know, wanted by the federal pen all over the world, you know, an outlaw, a true outlaw.
But the thing, and you think that, you know, we look up to people like that when we were young, you know, and it's because that was to us like the biggest we could ever be, or that's what we could accomplish. I didn't think that I could accomplish like a life.
This world that we are in now was unreal. Was not a world that I ever it was not. That world over there,
yes.
That was like, it was full. I arrived in the penitentiary at 19, 20 years old, like, you know, level 4 yard, I have arrived. Yeah. I wanted that. You know, like when I got out from that first term after leaving a 4 yard and I got to the streets, it was like a badge of honor. It was like I got this respect from these people that were like, you know, oh shit, you know, and I'm big and I'm hanging out with big guys. Even when I was in, there's some people I was hanging out with on the streets, like even when I was inside the system, like it was just like that's, you know, he would clicked up already, you know, just without a doubt, anywhere I went, man, anywhere I went.
Because it's a subculture.
Yep.
That happens in this world that we lived in and navigated in, and the best we could ever. I always say this, you know, like the best I could do and what I strived for was for other people that are never getting out to say my name and to say that dude's solid. But yet, not one person, not my daughter that's out here, I wasn't solid. not any of the people, not solid. I couldn't keep a fucking job out here. I'm a fucking criminal. But it's like the worlds were so different, you know, but it's like you're stuck in it. And it's like, that's the biggest, like our biggest ambition is.
We went full force in that. Just like we're out here now, we went full force. But we were in that lifestyle and we didn't do it half-assed, dude.
Yeah.
I wasn't on the sidelines of it. Like I wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
I was in it, man.
Yeah.
And then when they said you have to take that mentality from there and put it over on this end, like I'm in it. Yeah. I'm not standing on the outsides. I'm not like, I am in it, man. I threw myself, just like I threw myself in that way of life. And I'm talking, prison did not scare me. A term in prison did not, I wasn't like going to not do something because I got time over it. Like it did, the only thing I thought is maybe I won't get caught. Yeah. Maybe I won't get caught, you know? And
I say this to anybody that comes into recovery when I'm trying to help them, and if they have had lives like we had, because there's a lot of different, as you know, there's a lot of different kind of people that go to jail or go to prison, and it doesn't make you.
There's some people that don't know the difference.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But when you were like, when it became a lifestyle, when it's like lifestyle, we're down. It's everything to us. It's serious, you know, the politics, everything that goes with it, inside and out. The commitment that we had for that, that's the thing that I tell everyone. I think that's why this is my first time ever doing this. I believe the reason that I am able to do this and have been able to is because I was so dedicated to that fucking life. All I had to do was shift, because Bruno, my sponsor, told me, he said to me one time, I had 4.5 years clean, and I'm still doing both, sidelines, not really committed. And he says to me, and a situation happens where some dude, I was gonna go do something to some dude. This is in recovery. And I'm gonna go handle something the way that I would have handled it before. And my sponsor didn't tell me not to. What Bruno said to me, he said, he's like, you need to choose a side, bro. And he said, he goes, bro, you have never, ever been on the fence when you fucking go in there or on the streets. And I said, fuck no, I'm not a fence motherfucker. I'm down. And he's like, then why are you on the fence now? And to me, that was so insulting.
That is fucking deep.
Because he's calling me like a lame, you know what I'm saying? Like and bro, I took that weekend processing that, and I was like, I've never been a punk, dude. I've never been. Like, I'll catch time. I don't give a fuck. I'm down. Like, we're doing it. Whatever it is. And I that's when, at 4.5 years clean, I decided I'm dedicating and committing to this lifestyle. And I've been down for this shit since, the same way you were. I'm down as a motherfucker, no matter what, for the program, you know? And the people in it, like my gang are you guys. I do show in there, as it is in there, we show preference to our people that are part of our organization. I do the same thing out here. And I'm not anti-normie, but at the end of the day, my group of people is my group of people, and I'm very loyal to them. I'm down for them. And I think that you do the same thing I do because of how serious of a life you had committed to. See, some people that hadn't committed that much can't never understand that, so I think it's harder for them. And that's what I tell all these new guys that come in, and I know that they're like really serious. Like, I have a guy right now that just came in, and he's just got out doing 26 years. He's like very serious about that shit. And I had that conversation with him, and I said, you know, bro, you're gonna choose a side. And I said, if you're down, be fucking down. You know, we'll see what happens, you know?
Yeah, I you know, and it is crazy too, but like I honestly, like I threw myself, like I 100% committed to this way of life, man. And that's whatever, like they say, throwing it all, like half measures avail just nothing. Like there's one thing that I could stand on, and that's like I never lost touch of the program, you know? And no matter what my life has carried, you know, like, you know, through everything, man, I stayed connected. I stay connected, man. It's not every, you know, that, you know, I just stay, and it's just other people, man. Like, whether you're a pillar here or you know, or like, but there was times when like this community in recovery was my pillar. Yeah. You know, I'm not always. I'm strong. Like, I'm strong. We carry a lot of weight, you know. But I got, you know, I'm human.
Yep.
I'm human, just like anybody else, man. And the things that guys like me are not used to doing, or people from the streets and all this stuff is dealing with that emotional. You know, that attachments and this stuff, like, man, I get, you know, like, man, it's a, man, I'm not used to feeling.
That's a real gangster shit right there.
I'm not used to feeling, man. I'll numb it out. You know, before anything, I'll numb it. I'll beat you up. I'll do whatever it is. And after a month of that or another term, man, like I can walk into a visiting room after just getting busted and tell the girl who I'm with, man, like it's over. Don't write me. Don't text me. I'm gone for years. I want no contact from the outside world to anybody, man. I want to be full-fledged. I want to be fully in here. I don't want my head to be out there on the streets.
That's what I used to say.
I was fully invested. I don't want no contact with not even, like my mom, like you see me, but like I want no contact with the outside world because my life, that mentality that we get is my life was inside those bars.
That's right.
It's being locked up.
That's right.
You know. And then I come in here now and I get these things and I start getting rid of all this stuff like who I don't want to be. You know, and emotions and feelings and all this stuff that we talk about it. They used to give us charts and be like, what are you today? We're like, oh my God, you're like so many. You're like, damn, like all of them. That's all of them. I'm all these on
right now. Yeah, all of them right now.
Right now. I don't know. Like, there might be one I'm not. I just don't know. I don't know what that one means. And the thing is, you get to experience all these different emotions and feelings and stuff like that, and not run from them. I ran the hardest thing, and then everything. And another thing is too is I get to, and even with the mistakes that we make here, man, I can't run from them. And whether in the rooms or you here, like I can't run. Like man, like my sponsor told me, I had a sponsor, man. Like you can't run. You can't run. You can do whatever you want, man. It's cool. I'm not here to tell you what you cannot and cannot do, But you can't run from the good or the bad. You got to face it, man. Facing reality. You know what's really hard here? Facing these hard truths about yourself.
Fuck yeah.
Right? Let me tell you that, man. You ever had to sit alone with somebody you never wanted a relationship with? Yourself. You ever had to hard and swallow something about yourself that you never thought you would be, right? Like damn, like that's some real. And then better yet, they tell you, oh, you can write about it or you can process it or this and that, And then you're like fucking write about it. Like, I'm feeling like a dirtbag, how like does that like I had when they talk about digging deeper. And getting like fully invested, like man, how you gotta like there it's still today, like still man, I'm still like digging down and deeper, man. There's still more stuff that comes up, like and they talk about the institutionalized, right? And I'd be like, oh man, I'm not institutionalized, right? Like motherfucker, look how you stand, crisscross applesauce, what do you mean? Like every time I come in a room, I got my back up against the wall. What do you mean? Every time I have to, I'm watching the doors, I'm watching the exits, I'm watching everybody.
That's me last night at a restaurant. I go and this girl sits in my chair. Yeah. She doesn't know it's my chair. My chair is always the one where my back's to the wall. I can see the entrance of the restaurant.
Everything, right?
And I just always do that.
Why? Because
and every person that walks in the door, I just
did you have to give her a backhand?
That's my chair.
You'll learn in a second. I won't have to tell you twice.
And these are the things, and they say that all these little things that come across. I mean, all these little things, man. People are talking about, they have to make some big changes in our lives. The big change I had to make in my life is I had to make that decision that I wanted to be sober, clean and sober, right? Yeah. That's the biggest decision. The other decisions I have to make is as people, as those little things like that, man, that make the biggest dynamic, the biggest change in you. It's like somebody comes in and these little small things, man, that I got
all those thousands of small decisions have to be made.
Yeah.
Enough of them the right way and change to have the ultimate being sober or clean.
Yeah.
But we don't know that.
We don't know that.
We don't know that.
Yeah. Are you going to allow that to happen? Are you really going to put enough reflection and look at yourself enough to make these small little changes so you can live a life, man, not full of yourself, Like it's just like, man, and you know what? A lot of times where I see a lot of that stuff is working with other guys, convicts fresh out, Yeah. I get calls from these places, all around here, and they're like, yeah, we got one for you. Like he is on the verge of his shit's packed up right now. He's in this office. You want to talk to him? Hell yeah, I do. Yep. Those are my people, I kind of fresh out of jail in a treatment facility, not listening to
It's
nothing.
so cool because that's why, you know, in the program, it's so eclectic, you know? And it's funny because, like, any intellectual that comes in our program, any intellectual, everyone's always like, Doc's got to meet him, Doc's got to sponsor him, Doc. And I'm not going to get through to them. I have one guy, and just in particular, the change that has happened with your sponsee, I won't say his name, this guy,
Crazy.
like, starts, and I'll run this men's group, and he's just, like, saying words that I don't fucking even understand, you know what I mean? And he just uber fucking intelligent dude, and he was just resistant to all of this. The same way we were resistant because of our shit, and it's like, and he wouldn't have heard it from me, but he hears it from him, and it has to be someone like him in this program to be able to get there, and they respect it. And then it's the same thing with like you and I, with anyone that's a convict or anything, it's automatically I'm gonna get, like this guy back here. That's why I got this scumbag.
Right.
Because he could hear me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think, and I think like the more degenerate they are, the
The more
more.
we hear each
And
other.
if
No,
the,
no, I'm saying the more potential for growth. I'm trying to be deep.
and if the
here.
hosts come in, we get Dre.
There's a lot of potential for
You're
growth.
trying
Like
to
when
be-
I see somebody walk in and they're just like,
only thing
you know,
deep here
I'm like,
is your
I can
throat.
work with that.
Well, it's interesting. I think I can only speak from my own experience. I've been in 19 treatments. I don't know if you knew that. Probably 25.
How's that make you feel being in 19 different ones? You probably can make your own treatments. And after being in 19, I mean, you probably fucking know.
well, you know
Garrett,
what?
first off, he has to finish learning how to wash dishes.
No, it used to embarrass me. I didn't like talking about it, but now I find it to be a real strength when I'm trying to carry a message to someone, because I can say, "Oh, you've been to 7 treatments? Yeah, I've been to 19. Listen to me."
This year.
Yeah, right. So it used to embarrass the hell out of me, though.
Because you're
Now,
supposed
now,
pretty embarrassing.
now being where you're at today,
Yeah.
and after going through 19, like what was it that just all of a sudden was like that was it? That was you've been to 19. You know, what made it to where, like, was it the people you connected with at
Yes.
the facility, or was it, you know, what is it that what in you changed in order to be able to stay? Like, what decision or was something that you had to make? You know,
I'll tell you exactly what it was. So on my 18th treatment, Michael came to speak in a H&I panel up in Malibu. And I heard it. I'll tell you, I've heard about 75 H&I panels in my life as a client, and I heard his. So I went down to do stairway treatment, and I got out, and I started working, started to make some moves, and I relapsed one last time. And what I decided was, it was over at George's treatment center in West Hills. I just started reviewing the last many years of my life and all the failures and all the fuck-ups and flounderings, and I thought about my friends. I really did. I thought about this remarkable group of people, very influential people, men and a couple of women in my life. And I just said, in that moment, I really did. I said, I'm going all in. I'm just going all in. I don't know. I don't think it was God speaking to me. It was thinking of the men, and not a whole lot. It's like you and Bruno and Cameron and Bishop and just a handful of people. I said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be part of the gang. I'm going to do it all together. Bruno wants me to do this stupid fucking gratitude calendar. I'll do it.
Don't forget-
I'll do it.
don't forget
you know,
I resurrected your
and
wife.
you know, if he wants me to be the fucking coffee dude, I'll do it. You know, I'm going to do honest step work. I'm going to share everything that I don't want to share.
This time you weren't too smart for it all.
Oh, that's a good point.
No, I went through it quite like a monkey.
Yeah. That was
I
your
did.
problem, is your fucking uber intelligence. You know?
I always thought I had a different idea.
You thought you were better than everybody.
Yeah,
You thought you were better than everybody.
You knew better 19 times.
Well, I am better than you. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
How can you possibly be better than
Ken
me?
Clark, Dr. Clark
Dr. Clark was
is
washing
worth
my-
10 of you.
When you were washing my
Okay?
dishes.
It's
you
worth
just
10
asked me
of
for
you.
a job today in the kitchen.
But that was it. But you know,
talking about?
but
To
here's the
prove his
truth. I've been-
intelligence, he had to graduate from 19 treatment
But
centers.
the truth is, to answer your question, I mean, it's I don't want to dominate, but to answer your question, I've been in treatment centers in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Erie, Pennsylvania, Meadville, Pennsylvania, Rock Creek, Ohio, Atlanta, Georgia, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Chicago, Illinois, and out here in California, all over. And what really stuck for me out here was the fellowship piece. I've never had that kind of, and that's not to, talk shit about the fellowships back east, but I've never had a group of people that just really believed this. But I could see it. When I heard Michael's story, it's funny, you and I have no common in anything in our backgrounds, but when I heard his story of way up here, down, got my attention. And that's it. I just went in. I said, I just like you, I mean, obviously different stories, but I had that moment 2 years ago.
I don't think there's like much when we come around it, even in that we come from all these different backgrounds and this and that. But like I connect, you know, even so with like people who I never thought I could help, right? Like I can't help you. I'm not, you know, like we're different. But the thing is that we connect and we do help one another, and that's just like that's another great gift. Like I didn't know, like if you know, like this, like you just, you know, you learn this basic part, you know, that, you know, in the book, you know, and you know, you start doing these steps, and like that's
We
it.
all have the common disease. That's the thing we have in common. The common disease, the common sickness, and there's only one thing that can help us besides the God part, the step work part. There's one thing that can help us, and that's community. That's us. That's one another. We help one another, and that's the beautiful part about this whole program is the men and women that are here that are all here for the same common goal. And that's helping one another.
Yeah.
Because the normies, Michael didn't, but they don't understand us to help us. They don't want to give us. Nobody in a fucking real world would give me a job doing anything. You know what I mean?
No one still wants to give you a job.
So that's why I have to.
Garet,
You're down to one option.
Yeah, and my throat's sore. You know. Trey showed me some techniques to help, but you know what I mean.
We help one another here.
shameless.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I just noticed too, real quick? If we got Dre's tits and put them in the middle of Garet's head, they would look like the three-titted monster from Total Recall. Remember Total Recall?
The third tit. We all remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was it like? Did you have any kind of like something happen where you were like, okay, I just don't want to live the way I was living?
There was a few. I went to a couple treatment centers, you know, and succeeded at them. Right. I was able to go to these places and you know, become a house captain and, you know, and lead this way and everything. But then I leave those places.
Yeah.
Right. And I would never continue everything that I was learning there. You know. And then I go to another one, and I go there, and you know, I just like in prison or any kind of institution, like I was really good with the directions and all the orders and that program they have. I could follow a program. I could follow and ace a program that for a place to make it. You think, man, I'm fucking well. Garet is good. Like, look, he does all of his chores. He wakes up early. We never have to second tell him, like, you know, to do anything like that. I can do all that stuff, man. But and even though I'm gonna tell you, there was a couple points, man, and I went through a treatment center. I had 168 traffic tickets. You know, I went to it. I had a whole. I go to this facility, and I go there to do parole, and like I'm double pinned. They're like, well, look, you got to do a sentence for the state, and then you got all this accounting hold after this. So like, you know, you're gonna go here, and you're gonna do a violation at this place, in which I succeeded, and I did it, you know, and I did. I mean, I cut corners on every aspect, you know, and after being there, I graduated, I finished, I completed, and then I got to go to my court date, and I went to my court date, and it was the first time ever in my whole career of you know, out there that I ever came to. I went through the front doors. I was actually I had to go to county clerk and get on file and go in front of the judge, you know? Like, this is new.
In handcuffs.
Yeah, this is like, I came in the front door.
No shackles.
And this is the thing, is they built me up, man. They said, Garet, man, it's only traffic tickets. Like, don't even worry, man. They say, I did stuff with the city of Pomona. I got like mayors and all these doctors, all these pieces of paper saying that I've been rehabilitated, you know? Parole office, man. Now that I'm in treatment in one place for 5.5 months, like, parole's like, oh, he's fucking showing up. He's testing clean. Cured. Like, you know, I just, you know, like, and I go into the court that day, you know, and I've been to this court, same judge, man, for a long, long time, and I walk in there, and I was almost convinced that, you know what, man, like, maybe they will let me go. And I walked in there, and I was like, Your Honor, I got, you know, some paperwork stating, you know, that, you know, of where I've been and what I'm doing. And he looked at me and he's like, Garet, man, people like you don't change, you know? And he's like, go ahead and reprimand him. And I cuffed up and I walked through that door and I go to a holding tank. And I'm sitting there in this holding tank on this concrete bunk, and I'm sitting there, man. And it was like probably only the first time that I wasn't strung out, burnt out, depressed like that. Because every time I came into the back door, bro, I've been up for fucking 30 to 45 days. I'm just like trying to just take whatever deal I can so I can get upstate to get to start this time. I didn't, and I'm sitting there and I'm sober, man. I'm sober. And I'm sitting there in this holding tank, man, and I'm waiting to go from the court, down to the GP right there, in the bottom to get the bus to the county, and I was just like, I was tired, man. I was so just like tired of this, man. Like just that walk, that mask that you have to go from like boom from here to when I walk downstairs to this convict that I am in there, and I like to say I stayed sober after that. I didn't. I stayed. What I did is I was in the county jails and I was doing all this stuff, and I was like reading the big book, and I was going to the little the meetings they have there on inside jail, and mainly because that was the only place that white boys could go to meet to pass kites, anyways, but like
that's how we get our information. Yeah. That's how we get information.
So all white boys AA meeting, and.
It's true.
It's facts.
No, it's true. That's how we pass kites.
True facts. Yeah.
A kite is a letter that we write to get to someone else.
It's how we check in with the other parts of the institution to make sure everything's all right. Who's where? You know what I'm saying? And I check in at these meetings, and I did good, man. I wasn't like I smoked some tobacco, but I wouldn't drink Pruno. I wasn't doing no heroin. I wasn't doing no happy cards. I stayed, and
a happy card, so you guys don't know, is you'll
meth on
you'll
meth,
spray meth
on a goddamn card.
You'll spray meth on a card, and it'll absorb it, and then you ship it into us in jail, and we eat the card.
It could be on a paper. It could be if you're in a high power. It's on our court work. It's on our. If we get it from a legal, and the GP is on a card, and I got to say that I was, dude, everything, I stayed, it was the longest I ever been clean, man, my whole life, man. Wow. But the crazy thing is that as soon as they called me, man, this is how fast that lasted, is that they called me, and they didn't call me for release, they called me for a work furlough program, and I got out on this, I had to go to the local jail and do some 8 hours of work every single day, right? And I immediately, man, I got out, and I stuck a needle in my arm. And I showed up for the next 2 days at that place, man, with excuses. I mean, I had a stolen motorcycle, parked a block down. I drove this is how my thinking was working. I have drugs on me, and I throw them in the little flower box right there in front of the jail. And then I tell the guy, like, oh, I want to work out front. Like, and I just sit there and water my drugs. Just looking at my bag all day, That's like, damn, I can't wait to get off to do that, and then of course all the trustees in the back. I'm like, what do you guys want? What do you guys need? Cigarettes, there's all this stuff, man. And the thing is I was out for 5 days. 5 days, dude. And 5 days later, 2 days I lasted, 3 days. The third day I walked into that work furlough program, man, and I was begging them to that, man, that I'm sorry, I can't be on time. I was just begging, hey, please, just I'm a good worker. And he's like, you got to go check in. I went into some, street activity after that, and that a day later, man, I'm sitting in this trap house, and the cops show up, and they took me out to the car, and they reached their hand in my backpack, and they stabbed themselves with a rig.
They don't get happy about that.
And they don't get happy about that.
And
that's leaving me to 15, 2, and 3, man, for now it's assault on an officer, and now I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, and I'm like, damn, is it just like this? He stabbed himself with a needle in my backpack, and that's assault on an officer.
Yep.
Now they're 15 is like for that, and they're the 3 and 7 for my prison priors. Like
he's talking about years.
Yeah,
right
3 and 7 years.
15, 3, and 7.
Yeah,
you do the add up on that.
Yeah, and they're like, damn, you fucked up.
Yeah,
like you messed up. He's like, I'm a good, like, I'm the one that gets stabbed, but my partner right now, like, he's pissed, man. Like he is pissed, and they were not doing. It was my worst experience ever of going in, getting booked, I'm gonna tell you, even inside, like it was my worst experience. I went to like the darkest dungeons of the county jail, where it's no joke, man. Sleeping on a car table at night.
Yeah, they treat you like shit.
And they
when you
treat
hit
you like
cops, yeah.
crap.
If you hit
Man.
a cop,
They have me like go like I'm talking this, and what they do is they just keep you moving
Yeah.
to where you never have a
Yeah.
solid place to go,
Yeah.
and you're in it deep, and you're and it's just like, and there's nothing you can do
Hell.
about it. And it was horrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Horrible.
Yep.
You know, and I like to say that I ended there, but I immediately got out, man. I immediately fucking put a needle in my arm. And I was out for another 45 days in my disease when I got before I got sober, man. Like I just all that I was calling the treatment center, threatening them, like I'm gonna come get my stuff, you know. That's all I had in my whole life.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's what I had, the trash bag that they put in the
Yeah.
storage after you gone escaped, you know, like that,
Yeah.
you know. And they gotta hold it for however long. And they're like, yeah, we think we have it in the room for you. Come get it, Garrett. And I call up the next day while I'm smoking a bowl or doing a shot. Be like, as soon as I do a shot, hey, because you know who works at the front desk. I was there, you know, like, hey, it's Garrett. Yeah, I'm coming today. She's like, all right, I'm coming. Like, I'm coming today. I promise you. Like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
You know, convincing them that I'm gonna be there. You know, I have my stuff ready. You know, and I never showed up, dude. I never showed up, man. And
then what happened? For
45 days after this is what my life looked like, man, is that I could not stop drinking or using. I could not stop putting something inside my system. I could not stab myself with a needle. I couldn't stop. It was heroin and meth, and I was just literally injecting it into me every chance I got. I wasn't one out there. I wasn't like had to go searching it. Like I for some reason I stayed loaded. By any cost, man. I just knew how to get it, where to get it, and hung on with it. Like it was never like I was out there like, no, like I got loaded. 100%. Like that was never a doubt in my mind. And 45 days later, man, I'm strung. I've been out and I'm strung out. I got like 4 or 5 different houses. I'm bouncing, around like 2 hotel rooms and fucking 5 different houses. I got, everybody's like playing this sort of where's Waldo, like where's Garrett at? It's like fucking, pop it up there and you're just
stand out.
Yeah, I think. This is the thing. I don't think I do though. I think I'm normal.
When you're high, you don't know that you look like a fucking
people.
monster.
That's the craziest thing. Is like I didn't really realize how much I thought I was just
6'7", 6'8".
I just thought I fit in with everybody else, And that's the whole thing. And you know how hard it is for me to borrow clothes from you, but I have to wear them anyways. Is it clean? Fuck it. Let me see it.
You and Michael are about the same size.
Yeah.
I bet you were the same color.
If we were using, we would be.
Belly shirt,
and they borrow it, man.
Yeah.
I'm in my disease, man, and on Valentine's Day, man, on Valentine's Day of 2013, man, I'm strapped with track marks from my ankles to my neck, and all down my arms. I got like these spider webs. I can still see the scars today on my arms, and where it was at, and like I was digging in my own, sitting in the bathroom and digging into my wrist and watching my vein and everything, and this hole that I got, this abscessed hole I have on my body, because it was just like my favorite place to shoot, and being like, damn, I should go to a doctor about this, but I'm a doctor, but I'm a doctor now. But don't worry about it, I got this, I better clean it,
Rub some dirt on it. Rub dirt on it.
Damn it, I better make sure this part of my body stays clean, I'm sitting there and I get in some illegal activity with some seeing some enemy. I ran in the same politic ways that we ran in prison. I was living on the inside and I lived it on the outside.
Yep.
Like 100% fully invested in that way of life.
Yep.
And stuff happened, and I called, who all of us gangsters call. I called my mom, and I was like, I'm like, mom, do you want to get high for Valentine's Day, and she was like, and it's pretty bad. My mom's like, you're pretty hot right now. Like, I went by your house, like the cops just pulled me over, just driving by, like looking for you. Like it's like, I'm not sure. I'm like, well, where are you going to be at? And I'll sneak over there. That was like it was fun to me sometimes. Like, they'd be like, ducking and dodging, being 6'7" and trying to act like I was 5'5", and I went and got loaded with my mom and I had some revenge. I was going to get some revenge out that night, and my mom dropped me off at this Bat's Liquor right there on 15th and I, and an off-duty officer recognized me,
Right.
and
You weren't wearing the Ten
No,
mustache.
I was wearing a black trench
Ten
coat.
mustache and fucking
And
glasses.
fucking googly glasses with a nose on it and shit. Usually I wear a trench coat with no shirt, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I used to wear a bulletproof vest with nothing else, with a heart on it. You know what I mean? I get it.
And my mom fucking dropped me off, man, and I walked from that liquor store to this trap house I was staying at, man, and an off-duty officer recognized me from walking right there, and I got arrested, man. They picked me up right then and there, and I spent the next 45 days in the county jail. And since I graduated a program before, they said I can go to another one, and then another one of those moments, man. I'm sitting there on the in the nines and the eights and the high power module up there in the wayside, waiting to catch that bus to go to this treatment center, and I'm once again sitting in this room that I've been in so many times, thinking, man, like I'm so sick and tired of this life, man. Like I'm sick and tired of this whole deal, you know. And on March 17th of 2013, man, I arrived at that treatment center, man, and I didn't know, like all I knew was that life I've been living, man. I didn't know nothing about. I did fraud on my own account. I never had a driver's license. I never graduated school. I don't know how to talk. I got no teeth. I got, like my hair. I don't know my pant size, my shoe size. I'm used to number 42. Those are the size shoes I wear. And when you're in jail, it's like a 42s. You know, I knew that. You know, and I just know that, like, everything about me today, man, everything about me today is a direct result of recovery, man. There's not one thing in my life today that there's not a line pointing to it, man. That my life is from here. They said, and all those things that they talk about, man, like that you don't have to believe them, man. But the longer you stay here, the more you start believing all that stuff that people stay, man.
That's
Like the changes and all this stuff. Like if the work that takes in, like all this stuff, man. Like that old life is going to leave you if you want a new one. Like you got to change everything. And it's like all that stuff. You're sitting there like, I don't know at first, but I'm telling you, the longer you stay here, the more invested you get inside the program, man. Like the more like all that, and it's not just the big stuff. It's all the stuff that we talked about earlier, man. It's all these little things, man. These little things, man, that we and the changes that we make, man, that go, man. I just continue, man, to and even though I'm out there and I do, like I have to do, not only do I have to do all this work with other people, man, but I can't forget, I have to do work on myself too. I can't just hide behind all this service work and helping and businesses and work and all this stuff, man, because I'm not immune. I didn't come here and work the 12 steps and now I'm done. I didn't help enough people now that, hey, I don't have to help no people no more. Right. I haven't done enough service commends, and I've done every service, but I haven't done enough to where it's like, all right, cool, let me pass it on to the next person. I understand when you see guys, and I remember being new in a treatment, and you see these guys, and they'd be at a meeting, and they'd be sitting there, and they're just like this, listening, I understand that today. Yeah. I understand that today. Because life is life still out there. And life still happens. It's a daily reprieve, man. Yeah. But I got to stay connected. Yeah. I can't let the gifts of recovery get in the way of the gifts of recovery. Like I come in here, man, and they talk, man, there's so much different language and lingo and this, that, man. And the one thing I got, man, is I got this enthusiasm. I got this passion, man. I got this passion, and it's for the people in the program. Like when we talk about helping people, the one common denominator that me and Mike have, that we help, man. We help, man. I want to see you strive, man. Yeah. But I can't want it more than you, is what I had to learn. Yeah. Is that I had to learn this the hard way. Yeah. I can't want it more. I can't force you to do this stuff, man. I can't want it more than you. I can't force you. Like I can't do the work for you, But I can be a good example, And now my example, the person I am today, it stretches out far beyond just in the program, man. Yeah. It's in every aspect of my life, whether it's family, business, program, like all these different areas of your life, man. Like I've been around and I sat here enough, man, that it's true, man. Like it's true, man. Like your life, man, becomes my old life is unrecognizable in me today. I was at a meeting, man, and this guy was sharing, and I'm in the front row, man, because I was taught, man, sit in the very front, let people see you, right? Tall guy in the front, man, always gets picked on the share. And this guy, man, he's sharing, a beautiful share, and he's like, and he stops, man. It's a big meeting, and he's like, "Are you a fireman?" He's like, "You look like a fireman to me. I'm just sorry about that." I was like, "Dang," and I'm like, far from it, man. Today, and I'll tell you about what it today, and it is what I always have to ask guys, man. I always ask guys, man. Like, it's cool, man. But before I can ask you anything about yourself, I ask the person, like, what's your habits today? What is it today, man? Like, who are you right now? What is your habits? What is it, man? I'll tell you mine. I wake up every single morning, man. If there's one thing I could have done differently, man, and that I could have known that I didn't know now, is I would have dove into more of the spirituality side of AA that they talk about that I didn't believe in. I was so resistant, like God, I was like, stop. And I didn't want to hear that stuff. And like, what are your habits today? I wake up every single morning, man, like clockwork, man. And I physical, mentally, and spiritually. I spiritually feed myself, man. I mentally feed myself. I physically feed myself, man. I work out. I keep my body in great working order, man. Not nothing. I'm not no crazy. Like go to the gym guy. I got a home gym. I work out for 30 minutes a day. You know, I do some stuff outside of here that is like, man, it blows my mind. It just literally like blows my. I'm like, I can't believe I did that. You know, but it feels good to complete something. To actually live for a purpose of doing something outside the rooms. And I read and I do the daily disciplines that talks about in the book. I do a gratitude list every single day. And then what I do is I work out. And then what I do, man, is I live life, man. And my life it's either I take my kid, I walk my kid to school and I drop down on a knee and I give him a hug and I just say, hey, man, I love you. And for me to be able to tell somebody else that I love them and mean it. I mean it today. When I tell somebody, man, I love you, man, have a good day. To build a relationship with men and women in this world around you, man, was the greatest gift because I wasn't one to have relationships with anybody around me. So thank you, man.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Garet. That was great. We're going to have you back if that's okay.
Yeah,
this was
so.
fantastic.
I like him so much better.
As long as that guy's not here.
Is there, yeah, as long as Eric, we'll get Eric.
Yeah,
we
we'll
can
get
throw
him
in
out.
there.
Dre can stay. She can stay.
Yeah.
She can stay closer to me too.
I want to plug your treatment center if that's okay.
Yeah,
What's
please.
your treatment center's name?
Mindset Recovery in Van Nuys,
Mindset.
California. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were Mindset.
Yeah, he's mindset.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
see
You've been
them
there.
blast-
You worked for us.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
I didn't.
I know.
I thought you were
That's
just
why I
coming
saw you
in.
and I spoke with you. Yeah.
Talk about
What do
humility.
you guys-
I didn't know
what
he
do you
was.
do for catering?
I'm going to tell you this, is that the more that I could stay off the front lines of that and I just stay in the behind the scenes is the best I could do, man. Being the front line, my life is that being able to be a father and to be able to work
Right.
and to be able to have this time to be able to raise a kid, man. That's the most, help other people to raise a kid. And I'm going to tell you, I like being out there to experiencing life. Like I never traveled. I never gone nowhere. I never did nothing. Like I literally, man, like I got a passport. I'm trying to fill that thing up with stamps, dude. Like I'm gonna tell you, like
Same.
being and going around and I'm gonna tell you, like the life that you get here, man. If you want it, man. Like some people, like they're.
If you're willing to work for it.
If you're willing to work for it,
If you're
if you really willing to work for it, man, like the gift that they talk about, man. There's like, man, to be able to take guys. I'm just like, man, I'll take you. Come on, you never been where? You never did what? Let me take you. Let me take you. Because it's one thing to experience this life by myself, but it's even better to be able to take somebody and let them experience it with me, man. And to create, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. Like life. I could sit here for a whole episode and just talk about the gifts and this bright side and all this stuff, and this highlights so much about let's just being present and just being in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's beyond my wildest dreams, man.
Well, we're gonna have you back for sure.
Please do.
Any other plugs? Social media.
Garet McLendon, Garet McLendon, dude. 1R1T, Garet McLendon. I'm on IG. I'm on Facebook. A lot of my stuff I just keep. I'm not really. I don't know. I'm computer illiterate. You know. I don't know that. I'm not. Somehow I just blew up beyond. I don't know how. Consistency. You know. I don't know. I just don't know.
I know you have a lot of followers. You have a lot of people watching all your stuff.
And it just so
because
happens.
what you have to say, you know what it is, bro, is because what you have to say, you could tell it's authentic and it's powerful. And anyone that knows you knows that your feet match your mouth also. And I think that, that plays a huge part in why, people do follow you.
Thank you.
Garet McLendon on all social media platforms. Thanks again, everybody. Great episode. Please follow us, Solo and Doc, on all social media platforms. Fuck the Stigma on all social media platforms.
Fuck the stigma, man. Go follow it, man.
Join us.
Fuck Dr. Kenny.
And fuck Dr. Kenny.
Follow on all
The blatant
fucking socials.
disrespect. All right, that's it.